Hi, my name is Hannah Hartway, and for my video project topic, I'm going to be talking about information processing. Um, Basically, it's information processing is essentially a process that one would go through where they have to assess and analyze and then react to a situation. The brain is to be considered the black box that uses information based on basically your experience and memories to process the incoming information, to basically figure out what type of reaction needs to occur in those situations. Um, there are two types of informational processing. There's serial and parallel. Serial basically occurs one after another in a sequence, and then parallel occurs almost simultaneously all at once. So when talking about serial processing is nicknamed the critical thinking stage. And there are 3 steps within the process that all need to be completed in order to carry out a response plan successfully. There's the electronics assembly, being able to recognize the problem, to identify it, and all of that. And then there's the engine assembly, which is analyzing the problem while constructing ideas to see how one could react to it. And then there's the body assembly, and then this is where your brain starts to eliminate certain ideas and certain reactions to see which ones wouldn't work and which ones are not possible. And then after those 3 are completed, there's the final assembly, which is the one where you decide which reaction would work best for resolving the problem. And then your body does the test drive to solve the method, which is completing the reaction that your body wants. While moving into parallel, this is your fight or flight response. This one happens almost simultaneously. There's the stimulus identification, which is the initial assessment of one's environment. So instantly assessing your environment to see what's going on around you, see who's around you, that type of thing. The response selection, which is identifying the stimulus while deciding how we want to respond. So that one kind of works together. So you're figuring out what the stimulus is while sorting reactions in your brain. And then response programming is translation of the abstract selection into a set of muscular actions that will be the movement. So it's also thought of the final set of the process that allows the individual to communicate with the environment. So it's your body completing the response. When talking about sports, an example of information processing is if you take a volleyball player, let's say an outside hitter, and they are being set up to hit, and it's like in practice or it's in a game and it's exactly how they practice and each step is being followed through just like how they know, that would be the serial response. They know their surroundings, they know the steps they need to take, and then they're making those steps happen in order to follow out the reaction. However, if the hitter is not being set up in a successful way, or it's not in the order they think is happening, then the parallel information processing would take place where they assess who's around them. Let's say they're seeing if anyone else is calling the ball. They're seeing if the steps that they're about to take will help successfully carry out the hit that they need. That would be parallel. And then one of the things that I was interested in when I was going over all this information was how mental fatigue could play into this role. And I did learn after reading an article by Theo F. Mageman, I found that when people don't take care of themselves and prioritize their health, as in like not getting the correct amount of sleep or overworking themselves, the decline in efficiency with their informational processing there's a huge decline. And so it starts to break down slowly. And so mental fatigue plays a big role in the situation. And so I found that very interesting. And then my question for you is, how would you better your informational processing while in a situation that needs fast thinking?